Okay. So, this is a change from my usual KF2 content, but kind of running out of active players in KF2, and I've really been enjoying this game. This is Far Far West, which is a more casual horde shooter than grinding out KF2 controlled difficulty, but is still the same PvE format that I love so much, and I've been having a great time with it. Okay. Always a weird moment with, so one of the jokers I'm running, one of the weapon upgrades, is called Eagle Lever. And what it does is every time you kill an enemy, it loads 2 rounds back into your mag. You can see that happening here, assuming I hit any targets. Jeez. But as you can see, I did a bunch of killing there, and I am now at full ammo. Let's see if I can get these souls. No! Ooh, I'm getting a lot of explosive round. Okay, that was weird. Probably cat hair on my mouse sensor. That's what always causes that. There was a whole clump of hair on the desk earlier. Okay, that shouldn't happen again. Okay, so this is the evac, this is extract, so I don't want to use and pick up any of the resources here, because I will screw my future self. And while I am normally one for screw that guy, now it's not really the time. How long can I wait up here? Oh! There is a timeout at which point you lose the spell. Sick! That's really cool. Thank you, devs. Alright, important lesson learned. Alright. Problem. Running out of ammo. Solution. Infinite ammo. Well, not really infinite if you don't pick up the stars soon enough. They do time out. But with even basic mobility, you can cycle back and forth over any small horde. Alright, only got one of those souls, that's fine. Stonks. Alright, so that means when I open chests, pretty much exactly what it says in the tin. 15% chance that... Oh my god, why is everything going off on my phone tonight? I just lost a run earlier to my freaking alarm going off. So on these ghost houses, you have to do all these little aim lab type points and hit all of them. So you can see somewhere in there I lost a sheriff star due to it timing out, which relatedly, the fact that the game's secondary weapon throwing star situation is sheriff stars is just an incredible use of the Wild West milieu. That's leaning into the theme really hard, which they do no matter what in this game. This game is simply oozing style, but some of the touches are just really quite clever. So with the lever, one of the idiosyncrasies is that since it has a lower FOV to zoom in as far as it does, because it zooms in further than any other weapon, even the sniper rifle, it has a weird sensitivity. And there we go. More misses in there than I would have liked, but also I'm the sort of person where any more misses than 100% accuracy is a displeasing number of misses, so... Not a perfectionist at all, I swear. Cactus Day, okay. So that gets us into the delightful summons in this game, which this game's utility summons, you know, your standard like turret, wall, landmine, etc., are all cacti, and it's adorable. Hello, Wandering Trader. 45 gold. Second wind. It's arguably just meta to bring on my base build, but I like having other things, and so I tend to just hope that I'll find second wind, and if I don't, I just deal with it. Ooh, that's purple. I want to get in on that. Oh, hello. One of these days I will remember to reload before engaging the horseman. Oh my god. Alright, so sometimes this game's pathing breaks down around water, as was put on total display there, with the enemy getting out to the middle of what I presume is the nav mesh, and then just stopping dead. Little anticlimactic for the first horseman encounter, but also hilarious. So you win some, you lose some. Always gotta love enemies running lateral to you. Just wait for them to walk in your crosshair. And once I build up a few stacks in the leverage here, I also one-hit body shot the majority of enemies. That is a lovely stash of ammo that I will be taking advantage of over time. Goodbye. So canonically, the snakes are into that, which make of that insanity what you will. It is, if nothing else, arguably very French, like the devs. Is that perhaps an overly cocky way of doing that? Yes, would that stop me? Also, no. Okay, so every one of the danger zones, these red areas on the map that I have walked into there, or I didn't really walk into, the horseman was on the near edge of it, and they just have a certain aggro distance. You don't necessarily need to walk into the zone to trigger them, but they come with large hordes. Sometimes several, depending on how they've been distributed around the map by the spawning. Don't ask me anything about the spawning algorithm. I do not understand it at all. It is a black box. Which, of course, it's early access. There haven't exactly been people decompiling the code and crap. So those basic enemies have 20 HP, and that is the amount of damage that is done by the pickaxe. Sorry for my phone again there. It was reminding me to take the trash out, but I did that earlier. Shout out to past me, actually being on top of things for once. That's a lot of birds, and I'm out of ammo. Alright, I gotta jump over this and retrieve some stars. I always feel like there should be like some kind of present on the roller coaster. Oh, there is a present up here on the roller coaster. Okay. Oh my god, what's the name of the door? Okay, stonks, go off. I would say that my stonks are very high right now. What is happening? That just... what? This does carry with it the disadvantage that when any of the many explosive round pickups I've now picked up go off, there will be particle effects in between me and effectively aiming at my target. However, 1, extra damage, and 2, explosions. I'm not generally like a grenade or explosive heavy player or anything. Me and my DMRs have an endless and ongoing love affair. Holy crap. Alright, camper, let's go. Especially with leveredge, that's awesome, because I tend to stand still more because it's a high precision weapon. So I tend to be trying to buy space to actually engage the enemy instead of leaping around like a crazy person, because I need to land all the shots. So this is Mino. This is a Mino. It is loaded up with electricity right now, which is why it's crackling. and if an enemy were to walk across that, it would explode, dealing both its base damage and electric damage, or it might deal its base damage as electric damage plus some bonus. I'm not certain. Might be something to look in the firing range. And you can see this one is not charged, but it will still go off. Okay, where the heck am I? Alright, I guess we're just going to go do that. It was not my original plan for pathing on the map, but I've just sort of been ADHDing my way around. Shout out to Directional Sound on that one. So as you can see there, that was an electrical explosion. That's why that lightning bolt came down. You die. I have now set off a storm. I am filled with regrets, and my day is ruined. But on the bright side, it's not one this time where I have almost no ammo. Alright, let's get to somewhere where I have more space to work, because enemies are going to be spawning on all sides of me. Like so. Thank goodness for second wind. And playing while yapping is really hard. I'm completely not used to this combination of cognitive loads. Saw you as you were spawning in, dick. Again, most of all targeting things that are going to cause me the most trouble. On my way back to spawn here. Should I have done that earlier? Yes, I should have. But something spilled milk or whatever. Oh no, don't ask me for folksy sayings. Oh my god. This is not the aim showcase of all time. Of course there's two of them. Why wouldn't there be two of them? Okay. Now that I've finished being really, really bad and getting my butt kicked, let's go back to what we were doing, shall we? Gonna leave those in case I find my way back here. What have we got? Speedy Gonzalez. More movement speed. Cool. Why I keep not pulling out my sheriff stars to go faster with the unique I have on them is anybody's guess. But the most likely theory is that I'm dumb and forgetful. And that's okay. Huh. Did I pick up an ammo supply somewhere in there and that's why enemies are dropping all this ammo? And I just forgot. That's entirely possible. Could be one of those many blues I picked up while marveling at how many I got. Yeah, I definitely got an ammo supply somewhere in there. You can die. So you can see Mino doing some explosions there. Oh boy. So that is a nuke barrel. Why is it named so? You can see. Very literal. They have some other name in the lore. I really need to learn the proper bestiary names for everything. But I was calling them nukers, but that can very easily be misheard as a slur, and we don't like that. So I don't call them that anymore. Let's see, yep, ammo supply is the like gravestone up in the upper right with a revolver cylinder depicted on it. Seven. Five. Eight. 8. Would it kill you to do the right inputs, me? There we go. I am very happy that we got that ammo supply up there, because the Leveredge, due to the fact that it doesn't have any kind of explosive radius or ricochet. You can put ricochet on it, but it's contraindicated if you're using eagle lever, which I am. Don't remember if I even talked about that in this VOD. I've done a couple runs back to back here and I keep failing. Skill issue. But yeah, you don't want to do that. Because the ricochets will count as misses. And reset your crap. Which feels bad. Wow. Many drops of secondary ammo. No drops of primary ammo. Shout out to the people who think that it's biased one way or the other by the weapon it's on. Well, actually, it's on my character overall. I shouldn't say that. Just kind of talking out of my ass there. Alright. There you are. Okay. We did some bad routing backwards here. Goodbye. Okay, I am here. I'm starting to get towards the edge. Hi. Oh, that was easy. You, my friend, have run into some marauders along the way. Okay. 1, 2. His clones here get in the way. They're good design. They get in the way. They seem to have, and from my experience and anecdotally from other players, infinite resistance to the sniper rifle's penetration, which I think is good because it forces you to engage on a wider variety of angles and not just beam down the center constantly. It makes the horseman a more engaging opponent. Okay, where is the ghost house that is producing these? Is there. That's where the heck it is. Cause some infighting. Yeah, I'm starting to hurt from main weapon ammo. Took some damage there because I was looking at my HUD, not at my targets. Oh, hit marker on the cart there. I've seen that confuse some people before. That there are objects in the game where you get hit markers and it's like, can you farm XP off this? As far as I can tell, no, you can't. I'm pretty sure it's probably an inheritance thing in the code, where like the enemies, the objects and the enemies are related in some way. So the objects can take hits and show damage. Or the devs just did it because they thought it was entertaining. You know, I'm not the devs, not a mind reader. Grammatically, that sounded like I was saying that the devs are mind readers, which is pretty funny. Untrue, but amusing. Sadly, I can't just snipe out all these searchlights. They set off storms. No. It's arguable that I should take Rubber Duck because I have Joker Dealer on. That's why, if you notice, every time I've picked up a card, my health has gone up. But, I don't like winning enough to put up with the noise Rubber Ducky makes. How many times can I miss the freaking birds? I'm normally not this bad at this. But again, yapping adds a whole layer of difficulty in cognitive load. So I not only got to think about what I'm doing, but what I'm saying, what I'm going to say, how to even begin to try to make this content engaging, when I have always just relied on the difficulty of the gameplay and whatever bullshit me and my teammates say in the past. This is definitely a whole cognitive skill, learning to talk while gaming. Alright, can I see a few more dots? There we go. Okay, that confirms my thought that ghost enemies can trigger pickups. I was pretty sure they could. But every once in a while I'm wrong about things. You know, that sucks. And goodbye. So each of the objectives, primary and secondary, will also contain a horde of dudes who are out to ruin your day. Corruption's targeting is incredibly weird. I don't understand at all when it does or does not target certain things. No. That one's not even because it annoys me, like Ducky. Pig shot, the pigs get in the way. It's like, well, they explode. Their radius is terrible and their damage is worse. You are only ever hurting yourself by taking pig shot on high difficulties. You might not hurt your entertainment value. It is admittedly very amusing to summon giant pigs. But you are very much hurting your DPS. No well-built primary is going to be out-damaged by the random pigs. Alright, that wasn't a terrible display of accuracy. However, I was flicking to gigantic hitboxes, so, you know. Hey, Soul Siphon. I love having this. It turns any of the ghost houses into a pretty big heal. Especially the more stacks of it you get. Alright, we're going to try to pre-stage some dynamite here. Did that seriously just... Yep, it sure did. Alright, well, lesson learned. What? Why was I hitting F to throw? Is my brain defective? Don't answer that. There have been a bunch of people in the Discord who have suggested that the nose cone situation should be basketball for the dynamite, essentially, where you have to throw it in and make a basket. And honestly, I think that idea is pretty rad. Alright, on the bright side with this, I do not need to stay in the area. This is not one of the ones where I have to perform continuous interactions during the storm. And I really want this ammo. Let's get all these chests open. Got a nice open area to work here. Please. Oh, this is a suicider heavy friggin'. Or I've just gotten unlucky so far. Nope, this is a suicider heavy storm. I hate these. I hated the explosive enemy shit in KF2 Endless. And I hate this crap. bright side, this is time limited, so as long as I stay moving. We'll have to deal with it. So also the other thing here is if I ever stand my ground, fuck, it's on cooldown. Just realized I still forgot to take rescue off from when I was playing with people the other night. So I am short a spell. That's going to be fun, playing this with only 2 spells. We're in challenge mode out here. Alright. So the stars don't only provide me 2 extra jumps with their 1 unique. It also is an additional 30% move speed, which is very nice. So with them I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps, and I am noticeably faster every time I pull them out. So you can see the nuke we just made, nuke in air quotes, went off over there on the boss. So I've cleared. We're going to go there. And then I'm going to go back to the trader, hopefully get some sick buffs. And then we're going to kill us a boss. Alright, putting that in a choke point was pretty funny. Oh, and it dropped me something shiny. We love shiny things around these parts. Is that lazy? Screw you, game. Lazy is just god-awful still, despite the buff. At the very least, it's god-awful for the Leveredge. It's probably a lot better for the sniper rifle now. Or if I was running a way higher max ammo cap, it might be good because it would give me a lot more rounds per tick. But with what I am running, it is a complete waste, and I should not interact with it. No extra jokers. Guess I burned all my luck on those earlier. Can't really complain about that. Can I see that dynamite guy? No, I sure can't. It's kind of a waste of lever of Thunderstrike? Yeah, it sure is. But I just didn't feel like fighting that out. Oh, the green damage numbers. So every element shows its damage with correspondingly colored numbers. And I don't know if cactus damage is an actual damage type. This is a really cocky move. Let's see if it works out for me. Or if I get my teeth kicked in. I really shouldn't do that. I have yet to win Nightmare with the Leveredge. But sometimes in life, things are entertaining. And you just go for them. Get in there. So these hitboxes can be a little fiddly. If you want them to go straight, you want to be punching right on the top of their butt. This top plate there. Alright, what do we got? Sure, I'm not going to be doing much of that except during the boss. The boss is in fact why those of you familiar with the game will have noticed that I have reload speed, or I still have reload speed on. And it's because I don't want to max out fire rate or anything. One, because there's only so fast I can do target transitions. Like, yeah, you can just press down the left click to full auto your weapon, essentially. But there's only so quickly that that is productive for me. And more importantly, I want to reload during the boss. Okay, so that's the South Shore. That's Expedition. Yeah, we just gotta go to the... Oh, actually we haven't done that one. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one, then I'm gonna go to Trader, then I'm gonna go to Boss. I keep forgetting I have my horse. Because I was running so many disgrace builds, because I was doing shotgun and minigun, both of which thrive with Speedster. You can see also that the explosion going off on that Mino charged it with fire damage, which is both very cool and the basis for an infinite money cheese. Minos are doing some real free real estate work for me. In addition, my various explosive rounds will charge the Minos with their bursts. Minos inherit pretty much any elemental interaction that happens on or around them. Not the pigs again. If you're gonna give me a white, at least give me, like, you don't even need to give me Swift Shot or something good. Just give me something that isn't actively detrimental to pick up like Pig Shot is. Alright, that was a frustrating experience. Did I see a sniper? No. You can see new enemies spawning in as I approach. It's one of the reasons you don't want to balls deep Nightmare too hard. Is that the ground will just spawn new enemies, they will flank you, and they will kick the shit out of you. Ask me how I know. Or don't. Don't is better for my ego. You cheating fuck. Oh my god, I have screwed up my ammo horribly. Luckily I still have a bunch of elemental interactions and salvage damage. That said, we're still not in great shape here. Oh, come on. Okay. Of course, none of these engagements here. I sort of cockily assumed that one of them would drop ammo, and they didn't. Here we go. Die now. We're at the point where we are one-shotting the cows. I think on one player in Nightmare, the breakpoint seems to be in the 160 to 170 to 180 range. I'm not certain. Where did this ammo come from? Mino's doing good work, I guess. Ooh, yes. Care package. I forgot to pick up utility ammo at the secondary, didn't I? I sure freaking did. It would be cool if headshots had a higher chance to proc the various explosions and such. It would also be kind of punishing. And this game is overall pretty casual. And honestly, I like it that way. Not everything needs to be a total sweat fest. I love me a sweat fest. But there's room for many games in the world. Screw you, buddy. Oh, there's the dynamite guy. I was like, did I kill you at some point? And no, I didn't. That is a lot of overlap Minos. That's hilarious. All right. Definitely a necessary way of doing that instead of engaging with the actual jump puzzle. Okay, I am now... Don't know why the heck those weren't shooting me, but I'm chill with it. Certainly didn't do me any harm. Sure, trick shot, why not? Is it slightly annoying? Yes. Is it also good for me to have an additional point of health? Also yes. We love to see you, Mino. You do great work. It really should be Mino, because it's Decoyo, Wallow, Bandito, Pistolero, and Mino. But I say Mino because they've got a Spanish suffix on there, so the Latin-Spanish approach to vowels kicks in immediately. Okay. Missing shots there because Mino's doing all the work for me. You'll love to see it. Okay. My marker is still down. Is it smart to go through a map path I haven't been on before, as I'm just trying to get from A to B? No, it sure isn't. Is it entertaining? Also yes. And by also I mean exclusively yes, since the previous thing I said was no. Again, this whole gaming while yapping thing is a lot of threads of attention. I've always been impressed by people who can do it, but I am only more impressed by those people now. Okay, I'm still okay on ammo. That's a lot of dudes. Let's make it fewer. There we go. Are you kidding me? All of that. And there's still dynamite. That's just rude, game. Was I sufficiently looking at what I was doing there? Nope. Just waiting behind cover for the shot, because I had kind of lost the race for who was targeting whom. Okay, did literally any of you drop primary ammo? No, but the prior crowd did, so it's fine. So you can see I'm torching through ammo constantly. It's a whole thing. Okay. How many times can I miss the damn birds? All of the times, apparently. But then I hit that. Sure, why not? Saw some enemies down there. Wasn't sure how many of them there were. I find it very interesting that I think elemental effects can go off. Yeah, they can just go off on shooting the ground. That's kind of cool. I rather like that, actually. Alright. Need to restore my mark. No need to grab that ammo now. You never know. I might encounter 5 bazillion enemies and have to come back for it. It's always the easy shots. You know, it's kind of better than missing the hard shots, because the hard shots are often more important if you've screwed yourself. But it does make you feel pretty incompetent. I'm not certain what the wind-up time on the snipers is, but I don't think it's 2 seconds like I've seen people say. It feels more like 5. Probably 7 even. That's... You got a while to deal with them. I think on Nightmare you should have a little less than you do right now. I've got a lot of thoughts on the buffs and, or markedly the nerfs and changes to the Deadeyes. Because I do fundamentally think it was good to limit them to aggro instances, especially for their onboarding experience in Very Hard. They were extremely punishing as an experience in Very Hard. But in Nightmare, the aggro cap should go up. It should especially scale for threads of attention. So, obviously a team with multiple people on it can inherently multitask at things more than one thing. They can multitask at more things than a person can. I'm just gonna abandon this sentence and assume that you know what the heck I'm on about. I should not... These are all bad. Ricochet is going to completely screw me, but... Sure, Hoarder, why not? Don't want Clutch. Sure, Healthy Boy. And that's all our gold. I could have been collecting more, but honestly... I'm really annoyed about having to... Oh wait, no, you can hit escape out of her and then not spend the money. Oh, I remember that too late. Well, you still lose the money, but you don't have to take the choker. I am, however, doing a lot of damage on headshots. And I'm doing more than enough on body shots. Okay, I see you running in from the left there. You're dead now. And another Mino rolls up. Okay. We're going to get in here, and then we're going to zo-whoop. And kaboom. Oh, that is the I definitely need to stop playing after this run alarm. I have been on the computer for too long already and am making bad decisions. Hi, darling. You are delightful. I have no idea. You're now in a VOD telling me that I'm great, by the way. I said you're now in a VOD telling me that I'm great. I'm recording. Well, I'm recording right now because I decided to make some Far Far West content.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm like actively engaging things, darling.
Then do it better.
I love you very much. Your head is wonderful and amazing and great for many things, sexual and non. But it is a shit window.
Here, let me do this. Guess who?
You think you're incredibly funny.
That's not the problem. The problem is you think I'm incredibly funny.
I don't know. If you ever find yourself asking why is my life so hard, perhaps consider your own estimation of how entertaining you are. Alright, well, no. I would often take that, but it can be very hard to work around with running precision weaponry. I do like that you see the rearing up animation for the snakes more now. You especially see it from the 5-second cooldown on their aggro. A snake can't grab you more than once every 5 seconds. Does Ricochet not count as a miss? Those numbers were climbing. Or did I just get lucky with RNG? Alright, 197 headshot. 57, 59. 230. Oh! The source that said that Ricochet counts against you might have been wrong. That's exciting. Or it's an interaction that got like patched in the last hotfix or something with a with no note. You know, only both. Okay. One thing I don't like about playing solo is I do kind of miss the horde density of playing with a bunch of other players. Like when I've done very hard 4-player with some of my less sweaty friends, I've really enjoyed how many freaking dudes there are to kill. It really is funny posting these damage numbers against ordinary enemies sometimes, because it's such complete overkill. Oh no, 205, 192, I didn't miss. Yeah, okay. No, Ricochet I think counts against you. So when I've been not losing damage, it's just because I've been getting lucky. Oh boy. Alright, well, I'm not using boss arena ammo for this situation. So we're just going to do a little zooming. Unfortunately, unengaging content for a few moments here, as I both screw up my nav and run away for resources. If you wait long enough during the health animation, you can interact with ammo and such without dropping it. Or if you've if you've waited long enough, it just doesn't matter because you've already gotten the health effect entirely before the animation finishes. The full healing and the animation don't actually quite perfectly sync with each other. There you go, some sweet slaps, you pervert snake. Okay, are we done with enemy spawns here? Looks like it. Okay, and at this point I do not even begin to remember what boss I had. Well, hopefully it doesn't require more than 3 full leveredges. Oh, my butt hurts in this chair. I sit all day, all the time. That was aggravating. Wow, you are low down. Ouch. I'm just not running quite far enough out on the edge of the arena here. It'll be hilarious if you could corrupt the boss, but it'll be catastrophically imba. It would also be like a waste of time to corrupt the boss and then only get like the 100 corruption damage at the end. How do I keep missing these giant jetpacks? Truly a mystery for the freaking ages, man. Some. If I were doing a better job at hitting the head, I'd be really making weak spot work for me. But I'm doing a bad job. And so here we are. Switch to rotation direction. I'm aware. This is my last shot one way or the other. Get in here where math is working on my behalf. Alright, easy clap. Here on my car horse from the DMV quest, which is my favorite quest line in the game. Both for the fact that the questions are very funny, and fun fact, there are more than 15. They have a bunch of questions written for that. But also for the fact that the third quest, the horse parkour, made me much, much better steering the horse. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if I screw up steering the horse here, because I haven't been riding it in a while. Well, I thought the glow of the secondary ammo there was a cryptid's eyes. It, of course, was not. How am I doing ammo? Not the greatest. I swear those things have about 300 health. Get myself some hitmen. Narrowly dodge a buffalo that I didn't even know was there. I think I want some health as the play here. Extract is largely a matter of playing freaking keep away. And there we go. That is my second nightmare victory ever. Both of them have been solo. And I got one with the leveredge. Heck yeah. You'd love to see it. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go record an intro. Talking about my build. Oh, hey. Prestige leveredge already. Let's go. I'm actually, you know what? I'll talk about it at the end here. I know the usual pattern is to do the intro at the intro, but I can just talk about my build. Heck yeah. Okay. So, you, sir. You are going to let me prestige. You can take the other Joker slot. Don't have a particular plan for this slot. Having 15 open does allow you to do things like put machine gun or ricochet or speedster on. Let's see what in here would be good. Honestly, Bell Shot might be really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to put Bell Shot on this build. But yeah, so Eagle Lever. So that's the essentially the rack 'em up for this game. Consecutive shots, 5% damage up to 50. Stacked Lever, get a kill, get 2 ammo back from your reserve. Headbang, 20% damage to weak spots, and Bell Shot. And then this is what I use. A lot of people max out fire rate, but I like having some reload speed. And then Sheriff Stars. I finally got these to max. Took long enough. Don't even remember what I was going to equip on them. I think it was just 2 stacks of Rampage. No, it was 2 stacks of Running Gun. That turns them into absolute mobility beasts. You can just throw them and speed, and then that combines with, I got my double jump from Jumpstar, and then the extra pickup range and 30% move speed. So 30, 30, 30, so that's 90 right out from just firing the stars. And then I kind of, similarly here, just a little bit of everything. That tends to be how I build weapons, where I don't have a particular thing I want from them. And then run in the bottle crate. As you saw during the mission already, I was short a spell. So I'm running extra jump, Joker Dealer, and Glass Cannon. Glass Cannon's really good with the hard-hitting rifle weapons. Rage, which mostly serves as a signal to me that my HP has gotten low and I need to stop screwing up. Health to help offset the Glass Cannon, and then a little bit of everything. Again, I'm a little bit of everything enjoyer. And yeah, Nightmare win. You'll love to see it. I'll just come over here for completeness' sake. So what I have on right now is Rescue was left over from playing with other people, Corruption, which makes people my friends, and then Thunderstrike, which is just one of the great get-out-of-jail-free spells. You screw up, you deploy a Thunderstrike, you have unscrewed up. There's other things I like to run more, but since I'm actively trying to power level Voodoo, because as you can see, it's my only one where I don't have everything unlocked, Thunderstrike is just a great addition to any other spell combo. Have a great night.